Did I read that correctly?
Is there a question in this?
Did I read that correctly? That's
Is there
my
a question that is relevant to this hearing?
Did I read that correctly? Do you really think that the United States Supreme Court, you're an officer of the court, is guided by white male supremacy?
I believe that the First Amendment prohibits the president
and
other state officials for punishing people for
Did you honestly say that, Professor? And you expect us,
that the First Amendment,
as a Democratic witness, to take you seriously? Are you kidding me?
I believe that you should take
the First
Amendment
seriously. You heard of curb your
seriously,
enthusiasm?
sir.
Here's my saying, curb my nausea.
This video captures a tense and unforgettable moment on Capitol Hill when Senator John Kennedy completely dismantles an arrogant, woke Democrat professor during a congressional hearing. What was supposed to be a calm academic discussion quickly turned into a verbal demolition as common sense collided heathen with elitism, buzzwords, and ideological gymnastics. The result was fireworks, awkward silence, and a professor who clearly wasn't ready for real questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I apologize for having to miss the testimony of some of you, and I appreciate you coming today. Professor Franks, let me ask you, I listened to your and Ms. Hemingway's testimony and Professor Turley, so I got part of it. As I understand it, your position, Professor Franks, is that, I think you used the word myth. It is a myth that the Biden administration used government to compel speech, private speech, but that the Trump administration is doing that. Is that a fair characterization?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Do you think perhaps you're allowing your personal political beliefs to affect your objectivity here?
No, I do not. What is guiding my answers here is that I'm looking to see what the Supreme Court has said. You notice that in the testimony about the censorship industrial complex.
I got that part.
No, I just
want
to clarify.
No, but I've only got 5 minutes. Your answer is no, as I appreciate it. Let me ask you a couple questions. You wrote a law review article in December of 2023 for the New York University Law Review, and it was about the two cases, Bruin, Supreme Court case, and Dobbs. Remember that article?
Yes, I do.
Okay. In this article, you said, I'm going to quote your words, "Taken together, these two cases demonstrate that the Supreme Court has embraced the use of the Constitution as a tool of racial patriarchy," end quote. Did you say that?
Yes.
Okay. And then you went on to say, quote, "When the Supreme Court declares that there is a constitutional right to armed self-defense in public, it openly embraces and promotes a culture that privileges white men's ability to terrorize and kill those that they perceive as threats," close quote. Did I read that correctly?
I believe so. Thank you for reading.
Okay. And did you also say in that article, I'm going to quote again, quote, "by simultaneously expanding white men's right to kill and constricting women's right not to die, this Supreme Court," referring to the current United States Supreme Court, "has turned the Constitution into a homicide pact as well," close quote. Did you write that?
That sounds like me.
Okay. In November of 2024, you tweet, don't you?
I'm not sure what the current terminology is for it, but yes, I am sometimes on the social platform that was formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah, you're on a lot, aren't you?
I'm not sure what the relevance of that is.
You're trying to be provocative on there, don't you?
Again, I'm not sure what the relevance
Well,
of this question is.
let me show you the relevance. On November 7th, 2024, from your tweet, here's one of your tweets at 2:41 p.m., quote, "The majority of Americans hate women. The majority of Americans hate women more than they love anything, including democracy," close quote. Did I read that correctly?
I am not sure what this has to do with the subject matter of this
Did
hearing.
you say it?
I do not have those words in front of me. I probably said something along those lines, but
Yeah,
what is
you
the
said it.
relevance
Here
of that
it
to
is,
this
big as
hearing?
Dallas, right there.
Yes.
But your political beliefs don't impact your feelings about President Biden or President Trump.
I don't have feelings about either of them. What I have
Sounds
is
to me
doctrine.
like your favorite feeling is anger. Let me ask you this. You issued another tweet. This was in May of 2022. You've just been tweeting up a storm. You said, quote, "There's a reason why the conservative-dominated Supreme Court thinks the Constitution does not contain a right to an abortion, but is convinced that it contains an individual right to possess firearms. And that reason is white male supremacy," close quote.
The exchange starts with the professor confidently delivering a polished, politically correct lecture filled with trendy phrases, abstract theories, and carefully crafted talking points. Every answer sounds like it came straight out of a university seminar instead of the real world. Simple questions are met with long explanations, circular logic, and that familiar, you wouldn't understand, tone that instantly rubs the room the wrong way. Senator Kennedy wastes no time. He steps in with short, sharp questions designed to get real answers, not a TED Talk. Instead of playing along, he forces the discussion back to reality. The professor repeatedly dodges, over-explains, and talks down to the room, only making things worse. Each deflection tightens the pressure and the frustration becomes impossible to hide. This is where it gets fiery. Senator Kennedy calls out the contradictions, mocks the absurd logic with dry Southern humor, and exposes how the professor's arguments collapse under basic scrutiny. The confidence vanishes, the buzzwords stop working, and suddenly the so-called expert looks like a student who didn't do the reading. The room goes quiet as the professor stumbles, backtracks, and searches for an escape hatch that doesn't exist. If moments like this make you smile, and you enjoy watching woke talking points fall apart in real time, hit the subscribe button now and stay locked in for more. By the end of the exchange, the damage is done. The professor is visibly rattled. The narrative is shattered, and the illusion of intellectual superiority is gone. Senator Kennedy doesn't need to shout. Facts, logic, and a little sarcasm do all the work. The message is loud and clear. Fancy titles don't protect bad ideas, and arrogance doesn't survive cross-examination. This clash perfectly shows what happens when woke ideology leaves the classroom and enters the real world. Senator Kennedy proves that clear thinking, humor, and direct questions are more powerful than jargon and moral posturing. The exchange isn't just entertaining. It's a reminder that accountability still matters and not everyone is afraid to demand straight answers.